Thanks for joining us for the Coon Rapids 4th of July parade along Coon Rapids Boulevard. As you can see, lots of folks turned out for this parade once again this year. I'm Steve Erickson.
And I'm Karen Savanich. We're actually on Northdale Boulevard, right across from Sand Creek Park, just up the hill a little ways, and it's people both sides of the street as far as you can see, both directions.
It lines up, and as we're going to hear a little bit later, folks get here. I think some of them even get here a couple hours ahead of time just to get their seat. So you can tell a lot of people excited about this parade. And it is something to be excited about in light of the events that happened 8 months ago now or thereabouts. Folks, obviously a different sentiment this 4th of July. Folks happy to celebrate. Lots of red, white, and blue when you go to stores. You can see lots of that stuff. And of course, the big change with the fireworks laws in Minnesota. Lots of people will be, I think a poll showed nearly half of folks will celebrate with those legalized fireworks this year.
And my unofficial count around this neighborhood right now tonight is most people are actually staying in town for the 4th, which is really good news because we've got the fabulous carnival and parade, of course, tonight, but then activities all weekend long at Northdale. So if you are staying in town, it's a great place to be.
And as you said, lots of good entertainment down there. Tim Mahoney's down there on Friday, and on Saturday, the Rockin' Hollywoods, which is a favorite of everyone.
They are very much a crowd favorite and local band, so they have a lot of friends and a lot of following.
Definitely so. So this celebration going on tonight kicks it off with the parade here, and then again the carnival is today, Wednesday, the July 3rd through Saturday, July 6th. If you can get down here and are in town, it's lots of fun.
I know you'll be at the fireworks tomorrow night.
Gonna take it in, and everyone will be actually. A lot of people, you know, those are well-watched people, actually line up because they can't get into the park, kind of around the immediate vicinity to watch it, and we'll be taking those in tomorrow night as well. And actually, if you can't get down here, you can actually watch them live right here on CTN at 10 o'clock. So that's something new this year.
Wow, that is new. I didn't know about that.
So that'll be pretty cool.
I didn't get the memo on that one.
Yeah, you didn't. I'm sorry. Anyways, we have Jerry Grant among us in the crowd here, and he's going to join us now. Jerry, it looks like a lot of folks, as we said, have turned out, even though it's quite a hot day out.
Absolutely, Steve. It's a hot day out here, but we have plenty of people to watch today's parade. It's an outstanding crowd, as you mentioned. A lot of people seem to be staying home on this 4th of July coming up because it's in the middle of the week. And I'm here with a couple of people who have been at this parade numerous times. I'm here with Tim and Anita. And how many years have you been here, Tim?
About 9 years we've been coming.
And Anita, what brings you back time and time again?
It's a great kickoff to the holiday weekend, and we get to see lots of family and friends around the neighborhood sitting around.
Well, I hope you enjoy the parade today. And as I said, Steve and Karen, that's what's about happening in this corner. A lot of people, and you'll see many individuals throughout the parade route. So we look forward to talking to many people during this, and we certainly then hope to share their stories as we move through the parade. Back to you guys.
You wonder how that sun's going to play a role in this parade.
It certainly is. You can see right now I'm having a hard time with the sun myself. I'm trying to shade that a little bit, and I'll try to find some shade along the way myself today.
All right, sounds good. We'll check back with you a little later. Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
And we said it is a hot one, about 88 degrees out here right now, and at least the humidity is down from what it was several days ago.
It's just beautiful. It's wonderful.
All right. More than about 100 units in this parade, and we will have all the action coming up right here on CTN, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I
am
An American.
I am an American.
I am American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
Welcome back to the Coon Rapids 4th of July parade here on Northdale Boulevard. We have a beautiful night for a parade, and thank you all for joining us. And as you can see, hundreds of folks, if not thousands, lined up on the streets here on Northdale and surrounding the park for what looks to be a pretty good parade.
In its 9th year, this parade obviously just keeps growing and growing. And leading us today, we have the typical, the police cars, you know.
Gotta get your escort.
Clear the street, make sure everything's good to go.
That's true.
getting a little help from the Sheriff's Department, the State Patrol, and now the Color Guard.
That is the Coon Rapids American Legion Post 334 Color Guard.
So many folks from the community not only watching the parade but also in the parade. I know we get to meet a few more people than the average resident does, but I know we're going to recognize most of these participants.
We will. Did you see that? They let Laura Ebel drive a
I saw that, and
unit
she had
down this
McGruff
parade
with
route.
her.
Wow. And here comes the Color Guard again.
It's always an appropriate time to stop and enjoy the Color Guard as they pass by.
Behind us in the box buggy is our immediate past president, Gail Madison.
Displaying not only the United States flag, but also the American Legion flag and the prisoner of war flag.
Directly behind that, we missed it. It's the Lions flag vehicle.
This year's Grand Marshal is Gail Madsen. He's been the president of the Lions since 1991, and he's contributed in excess of 500 hours during his years as president. What a wonderful volunteer.
Not too bad. Lots of good volunteers in the community, definitely.
Certainly dedicated. And he gets to ride in a pretty fancy carriage today.
Hey, not too bad. No top. Sun's on him. And of course they got candy, which is a crowd favorite.
He's going to test his arm up here.
We got one of those bands. A very popular feature at parades. This is the Coon Rapids High School Marching Band.
They sure look familiar.
They do. And they're making their only summer appearance at this parade. So I guess we should feel special. The Marching Cardinals of the Coon Rapids High School compete during the fall in numerous field competitions around the state. And they've won numerous awards during the past 4 years and are excited to be continuing their tradition of excellence here at the Coon Rapids Lions 4th of July Parade. Let's take a listen.
I think I counted about 100 participants for the marching band.
Yes. In long sleeves, long pants, a hat. Looks more like a fall competition.
Thank goodness they have that support vehicle following behind with plenty of refreshments and towels, I'm sure.
And I'm sure many of the parents who also help support the band members during the course of the year.
Sure does take a lot of time. Not only for the parents, but for the students who have to go to practice every night and make sure that they're knowing all their
one of those
routines.
Things, definitely. Well, if you haven't seen it before, you can join us for CTN News. We started a new format about a month and a half now in the new studio. Still on Friday night at 7 p.m. We are now a half an hour in length. So double the amount of news for your time you spend watching us. Of course, you can catch up on the latest news, what's happening around the city, lots of community events. We cover it all, or try to anyways.
We sure do, and Steve, you do a wonderful job. I just want to let everyone know that.
It said with Karen Savanich.
I know, but it's no secret who does all the work.
No. You have that all wrong.
Okay.
Looks like we have some dancers coming up down the street.
We do, Steve. This is the Coon Rapids High School dance team. They are under the direction of Julie Morris, and I know she's got an assistant, but I can't remember her name. Coon Rapids Cardettes. We're looking at probably 55 members who have come out tonight to be a part of this parade, and they remind us they are an award-winning dance team. They're always winning something, either jazz, funk, or high kick.
And so many of these groups compete in so many different events throughout the year that it's amazing they have time to do all this. But
I can imagine they're a little warm with the black shorts on and pants.
But they got the yellow top, so they got cool, dark.
That's interesting. They're not doing the red and black cardinal colors.
All right, maybe something different. You kind of get tired of some of the standard colors, so something a little cooler.
Oh, and there's a vendor. We're reminded that these people are volunteers. I saw in the notes that they were wanting people to drive the ice cream trucks and sell balloons, and
It's a good item for tonight.
Is one of those.
And those are some big balloons.
Have to get your child one of those.
Maybe. Coming up next, the Lions president, Joel Anderson, and his entourage. Joel Anderson is not only an active Lion, but is a scout master. Is active in his church. You can always be counted on when asked, "Can you help?" It's another one of those good community volunteers. Speaking of good community members, we are going to go down to Jerry Grant now, who's standing by with some folks. Jerry?
Hi, I'm down here with Joel Peterson. And Joel, how's the Lions Club going so far this year as far as your parades?
Well, I think real good. I've been president now for 3 days, so I'm real new, but I think the parade is going good, and we're all having fun, and the weather is great.
Is this your first parade then?
With the Lions, yes it is. I've walked in it with Boy Scouts before, but this is a little better.
Well, fantastic. This first parade, and it looks like Joel's having a good time. I'll throw it back up to you, Steve and Karen.
All right, sounds good. Don't want to hold up the parade, so we'll let them get going here.
He gets to ride this year. That's nice.
That
Years
is
past,
true.
apparently, he's had to walk. And do you remember last year, Steve? It was actually chilly out here. It was about 60, 65 degrees, probably.
And the bugs were biting, too, I remember.
It was. I remember I had on long sleeves. That was
Jeez.
quite a surprise for the July 4th celebration.
What a difference a year can make. Coming up next, we have Mayor Lonnie McCulley.
What's nice this year is it looks like most of them have banners in front. That's something different, not just the vehicle. Lonnie is our outgoing mayor. She's going to step down at the end of her term. She's decided not to seek re-election. I asked her earlier in the week what she was planning on doing, and she won't tell me. So apparently that's top secret.
It also says she's riding a 1950 Ford convertible.
And
Doesn't look like a convertible.
we had a vehicle switch. We did. Instead, she's riding in a yellow
Jeep, it looks like.
Jeep Wrangler from Coon Rapids Chrysler Jeep.
I almost thought it was one of the fire truck grass units first, but
Yeah, and when you drive by the car lot, the one car that sticks out, of course, is the bright yellow one.
that's true.
That's the hot new color.
There goes Dan Earhart in the corner of your screen there, current county commissioner, and right behind him is Lonnie McCulley's husband, Dave McCulley, who is also a county commissioner.
Dave is active on the Parks Board with the county, and I know he's real proud of the new band shell that's going in down at the Coon Rapids Dam.
And that's going to be a heck of a project when it's done. It's going to be beautiful right along the river. It's supposed to seat 250, 300 folks. So definitely an improvement to those Thursday night summer concerts, which are well attended as well.
I'm sure we're going to max out on people because it seems like we get that many now, just bringing their lawn chairs and blankets.
Looks like we have some old-fashioned cars coming up. Several of them, in fact.
This is a really good, fun event that has been added in the last few years as part of this celebration. And I've credited a lot to Terry Hedberg from the Lions Club for recruiting his friends and people with cool cars to be a part of this celebration. Now, I don't know about you, but I really like hot pink, and that looks like an awesome vehicle.
Maybe nice for you. I do not prefer hot pink, but
38 Old Scoop, we're told.
But maybe this orange-colored vehicle looks pretty cool. This is a 56 Chevrolet convertible there. Coming up behind that is a 1926 Model T, maybe. We have a couple different vehicles coming up there. But again, they'll be part of the custom car show that is held actually this Saturday, July 6th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Sand Creek Park. It's a custom car show. People enter, and I believe they actually win some prizes. So quite a cool deal there.
Yes, if you have a chance, come down and check out the cars. I know they leave them parked there on the ball field so you can browse around and take a look at them.
Right there is a Hormel vehicle. That's a vintage truck from Hormel. Of course, If you don't know what Hormel is, you're probably not Minnesota.
Based out of Austin, Minnesota, this is actually a custom-built replica, so it's kind of neat. And that they do have a new museum too, the Spam Museum that just opened. If you're down in that part of the state,
We just saw the Grossline beverage truck, which is a Model T, way back from 1916. They started a small distribution business in Fridley. It's kind of mixed in with a couple of these other vehicles.
coming up next is a very nice-looking 1957 Pontiac. This has just come out of a 2-year restoration project, and boy, does it look great. Driven by Martin Schindel, and he's from Landmark Community Bank, so we want to thank them for being a part of the parade this year.
And right there, you're seeing Mickey Glass in a 40 Cadillac limo.
Oh, the good old days, huh, Steve?
Yeah, it was one of 42 manufactured in 1940. It's 7-passenger with a divided window. So pretty cool there. And actually, they came out with a relatively new limo, state of the art. It's got like almost a retractable roof. That's pretty cool. Mercedes just unveiled.
Yeah. Next year, that'll have to be in the parade, right?
Yeah, I'll put one of those in the budget for next year.
Coming up next, it's the Lioness Group, and obviously this is a volunteer organization that believes in being very involved in the community. They even brought candy for us today. They're so nice.
And they are definitely involved.
They expected to bring about 15 gals with them today. They are throwing out candy and having a great time.
Reghead Sports is right behind them, celebrating their 10th year providing the best in custom embroidery and screen printing. As always, the float is accompanied by a mascot, Snort. Oh, there's Snort.
A lot of teams getting their uniforms from this company.
I wouldn't want that job wearing one of those things.
It'd be a
On
little
a night
hot.
like tonight, it is very warm in those, I imagine.
Coming up next with some loud music, but they're, oh no, they're having fun.
We just missed two
Fancy
t-shirts.
dancing. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wasn't paying attention there.
But they were quickly scooped up by the crowd, so that's good to know that somebody's going to use them.
It is. T-shirts, candy, bumper
Everything out
stickers,
here.
buttons. Fancy Dancing is located in Coon Rapids, and they've got young people of all ages here performing tonight. And they even got some super soakers. Uh-oh, they're aiming them at us.
That's not good. She was thinking twice.
Their motto this year, Kids in America 2002. They've got matching t-shirts and doing their routine as they move along Northdale Boulevard. And it wouldn't be a performance without a support vehicle following behind.
That's true. All that assistance.
Cool bike.
Got some noisy folks coming up.
Must be our friends with the fire department.
It is actually. And leading them off, it's the fire prevention specialist, Denny Nothnagel, his wife and daughter. And they're actually with the Pace car, which is a 1991 two-door car that was donated by Saturn of St. Paul. It's been painted to look like a race car, and it's used for fire prevention and safety messages. Saw the boat right behind that, which obviously helps in any open water or ice rescues. Then the tactical support vehicle. Which
And
is
if people do come to the Thursday night concerts, they can see a variety of fire equipment apparatus there, which is kind of nice. You mentioned Denny, his wife is Tammy, and their daughter is Courtney, and it looks like she gets to pretend she's driving the Pace
Yes.
car.
good deal for her. Won't be long, I'm sure. And there was the boat we had talked about, which helps with any open water and ice rescues. Right behind that, it's a tactical support vehicle, or we refer to it as the bread truck, because it looks like one. But they actually don't serve bread out of there. It contains special rescue materials, hazardous materials, high-angle rope rescue ice, and water rescue materials.
Also says here they will rehab firefighters in there if somebody's wore down.
If they have one of these bigger fires or something and they need a unit, that's the one that will come out there. Right behind that is Engine 3.
This is the Telesquirt pumper truck. Now that sounds cool, huh? Driven by Don Schindler. It's used for all fire-related calls. Primarily, it's the pumper for Station 3 and for their response area. It does have a 1,500 gallon per minute. Oh my. 50-foot high telesquirt nozzle. Cool. and it can flow 1,000 gallons of water per minute.
Pretty cool. It'd be nice to be flowing that water straight out and shooting the crowd, probably. That is loud.
Wow.
Right behind that is Aerial 2. That is the newest fire truck, and it's basically used in any large, if they need to get up high, like in apartment buildings or businesses, commercial buildings they can use. It has a 100-foot platform with two nozzles.
This next group got smart and put a canopy on their float. It's the Clownmobile from the Lino Lakes Lioness group, being pulled by their minivan, which is decorated all red, white, and blue. They do have a life-size stuffed clown in there. I suppose that keeps the real person from getting too warm.
Yep.
They call him Murphy. And they also have 2 or 3 other clowns coming along. What's a parade without the clowns, right?
Yeah, no kidding. And they're usually walking, but these two chose to sit on a chair.
Oh, nice and cool. You know what? Jerry Grant has somebody who's a special guest here tonight. Jerry, who are you standing by with?
I'm standing by with Sheriff Bruce Anderson. And Bruce, is this your first parade as sheriff?
Well, it's my first parade as sheriff in Coon Rapids. It's not my first parade. We've been on the parade circuit for about 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. So we're old veterans.
Where did you go first?
We started out up at St. Francis. So, yeah.
How many more do you have to go this year?
We've got 1 tomorrow, and I think we've got 3 after that. So, winding down, but having a great time at it. This is really, it's a nice opportunity to get out and see people and talk to them and, you know, kind of meet the people that are the constituents of Anoka County. So, it's great.
How is the job as sheriff going so far?
So far, it's going great. I couldn't ask for more. You know, we've got such a great group of people that work there, the staff. Really, with staff like we've got, I'm blessed, and I couldn't ask for better, quite honestly.
Well, enjoy the rest of the parade, and I'll throw it back up to Karen and Steve.
All right. Thank
Thanks,
you very
Jerry.
much.
Just want to let you know the sheriff's wife's name is Wendy, by the way.
That's an important thing.
It is. And
support.
She's right there with him, helping him through.
Definitely, and of course, Bruce Anderson was recently appointed to the job as sheriff, and he will be up for election this fall.
And that's a very cool car he's riding in. I know we've seen it the last 9 years in this parade, and even a few years before that in some other local parades.
I imagine it's one of those that they seized. I'm not too sure, but a lot of times they're in.
Works good
some
for
of
a
those
parade
older
vehicle,
vehicles.
though.
Definitely. Coming up behind that is a boat.
Good.
Pulling McGruff. You can see there, and several other folks used on the water again for enforcement in the county.
And if folks are in town the last week of July, it's the Anoka County Fair coming up. You can see this boat and many others out at the fairgrounds.
That's true. You miss one festival, there's always another in Minnesota, it seems like.
Well, look at this little dune buggy. That sure is cute. Apparently they're bringing up the rear for the sheriff's department.
Guess that's its purpose, huh? Coming up behind that, Mary Kiffmeyer for Secretary of State. Like we said, what's a parade without all the politicians, huh?
That's right. She's got a fancy red truck, and then she's also got some folks walking the crowd, and she is apparently running the crowd as best she can.
Trying to keep up here, of course. They got their signs, usually they have their stickers, and who knows what else.
I sure hope they've got a big jug of water for her in the vehicle.
Yeah, she'll need it by the end of this parade route.
She's going to get wore out.
I imagine this route has to be about 3/4 of a mile, somewhere around that vicinity, maybe even a mile.
Yeah, at least a mile.
By the time you get back into the park and leave the park and get back into the park.
Look at this, Steve. It's the Aqua Jesters. These are the official clowns of the Minneapolis Aquatennial. They do so many parades, and we're just happy that they came to visit ours.
Aquatennial is usually in July, isn't it?
You got me there, but I think you're right.
I think it's usually in July, maybe the middle to around the 20th of July, somewhere in there.
They're sponsored by the Lions Club of Crystal this year. We certainly appreciate their support.
The parade route, and I don't know where he is. He always gets lost.
He's lost something.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
He missed the fire department. They were a half a dozen vehicles ahead.
Exactly. Wouldn't they appreciate having one of those trucks on board to assist with calls? And those firefighters.
Yeah. They also visit parades, as we mentioned, but also hospitals and other things where they can do good work.
Coming up next, we have the Cub Scouts Pack 514 from the Hamilton Community Education.
They've got a nice banner and several walkers.
Waving little flags.
And I suppose September, once school starts, you'll have an opportunity to join Scouts.
I'm sure they do a lot of recruiting around then for folks that want to get involved.
They are so happy to be in the parade today. It's wonderful. You know, at CTN, we cover so many wonderful events. It's such a pleasure to work for the station. We also cover Minnesota Thunder soccer, and if you haven't been to one of these games, it's wonderful. We do have another event coming up live Sunday, July 14th. You can see it at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 15, and they'll be taking on San Jose, and they are an MLS team, Steve. Thunder is A-League, so this is a step up. So if the Thunder can really give them a match, it's going to be something.
You got it all figured out.
I do. Love soccer. Oh, a little bit of shade for that fella.
Yeah, I notice people with their umbrellas and any other instrument they can to keep the sun out of their eyes and
I
keep them
noticed
a little
the ice
cooler.
cream truck, you know, made
Yeah,
it
did you see
tall
that
here
before?
and then took off.
I noticed it came by and you didn't get any ice cream for anyone here.
You know what? I did, but you weren't here yet.
Yeah.
You missed it.
It's that last minute thing. I need to show up sooner and then I'll get ice cream.
And if you missed it the first time, why not take another look at this banner for Sheriff Bruce Anderson? Apparently they got a little out of order in the parade.
Or just a little more advertising. See, you gave them another plug. It works.
It
Totally.
does. Good planning. Very fancy truck coming up next. I like the red, white, and blue banner on the grill. That's very festive. Look, Steve, it's another
Don't
Sheriff
say it.
Anderson
See?
vehicle.
It's there. All right. Coon Rapids Junior Royalty is coming up right after that.
Now, there is a lot of people on this float, and I'm going to go really fast. So let's see if we can get
Okay.
them all in. Kajara Balfans, Shanae Peterson, Brennan Newham, Kristen Johnston, Carissa Duffy, Melissa Elson, Ariel Hoffman, Bobby Velst, our Miss Coon Rapids, Tiffany Ogle, and the director this year is Diane Butsta, and Janelle Foss is her assistant director.
Very good. Girls ranging anywhere in age from 5 to 17. Colors of red and white symbolize the community spirit of Coon Rapids in conjunction with Snowflake Days, which I'm sure they're already preparing for again next year. And would be looking for any support that people would offer, any volunteer. They're always looking for folks, so give them a call.
And Miss Coon Rapids Tiffany will be competing for Miss Minnesota later this summer.
Yeah. It's a good way to get down there. Rollerblades.
Yeah. Snowflake Days is held in February, but obviously they participate in events all year round. People storming the streets trying to get that candy.
People, some big kids bring bag. It's got a big bag.
Well, he's hoping to fill it up.
And I imagine some people actually do by the end of the parade.
Yeah, people of all ages, they just love that candy. Oh, look at that. Is that an Elmo or an Ernie balloon in the crowd? You missed it.
I guess I did. I'm falling asleep up here. Bernadette Klebeck, is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
For the House of Rep. She's running for District 49B, and she is a DFL endorsed candidate for Coon Rapids and Andover.
Coon Rapids is going to have an active election season this year. I know we're looking forward to election night coverage. We'll have the mayor's race, 4 council races. There'll be a levy question on the ballot. It's going to be a busy election season.
All right, well, Jerry Grant is standing by with another unit coming down the parade route. Jerry, what do you got?
Well, Steve, I'm with the Moms Club of Coon Rapids. I told you this parade is about the people, and I have Heidi with me here, and she'll tell us a little bit about what the Moms Club of Coon Rapids is. Heidi?
We're a nonprofit organization for stay-at-home moms to give the moms activities for their children and themselves to do during the weekdays when the fathers are gone.
Okay. Thanks, Heidi, and continue to enjoy the parade. Back to you, Steve.
Jerry, you fit in very well down there.
The Moms Club.
Thanks much. Took all the words you were going to say, I think.
What's nice about this group, as he said, they plan activities, they offer support for moms, whether they're full-time at home or part-time. It's great to meet other moms and have play dates.
I imagine just to get out, if you're stuck at home all the time, it's nice to associate with some other folks and some other kids.
That's right. I know you brought your little guy tonight.
He's down there trying to race out for all the candy, I've noticed. I don't know how successful he's been, but
Got to keep a little rein on him.
that's right. That's why they got the ropes this year, you notice.
Yes, they do have to do quite a bit of crowd control here.
Coming up next, we have a float from the VFW. This is post 9625. On the float is Commander Stephen Ellenbach and Vernette Hooley.
She is the president of the Ladies Auxiliary, and he's the commander of the post. And next, it's Coon Rapids Youth First.
Dying hot.
Kids are honest.
It's a little warm, she's right. This group enjoys Fantastic Fridays. They do talent shows. They participate in Reading for Success. They're also active with scholarships and grants. They have a skate park competition coming up July 6th. And of course, they're working on that new teen center opening up for Coon Rapids.
That's true, and that does open actually coming up in about a week or so. Coming up next Tuesday, July 7th.
Pete Yell wanted to be sure that he said hello to everybody at home. Just wanted you folks to know that.
So they're planning lots of activities for kids down there, lots of things to do, lots of things to take part in, and that's something they've been working on for several years to get that teen center up and running. And it's really been something that these kids have really worked hard doing, and they're very excited about it. And they're going to open up and have a good time, I guess, out there.
And actually, July 6th, that's Saturday, so they're going to have the big competition down at Sand Creek Park.
That's true, a skate jam, all that sort of stuff. If you're just joining us, you're watching the Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade here on CTN. I'm Steve Erickson, along with Karen Savanich, and we have a gorgeous night for a parade. It actually feels like it's getting a little cooler out here as we go, so not too bad.
A little bit of shade coming in.
That's the one good thing. We've never had a lot of rain on this night, which, you know, summers in Minnesota, you never know what to expect, and a lot of times you'll get these thunderstorms that pop up, but we've really never been rained out of this parade.
We are blessed. This is the 9th year for the parade, but it's actually, we're in the 44th year, I believe it is, for this celebration. And of course, it wouldn't be made possible without the fire department and the Lions Club joining forces and putting on this celebration for everybody in the community.
And what do we have here?
Bunny ears. Well, he's passing out something, so he's definitely a crowd favorite.
That's true.
Oh, look at the spectacle shop.
That's where they're from, huh?
That's who it is. It's the spectacle shop on a trike, so they're not moving too fast. Oh my gosh, they're giving away carrots. What a great idea. Bags of carrots. That's why they have the bunny ears.
That's the, yeah, I was going to say it all makes sense now. And actually, some people have tails.
What a great idea. And this group is new this year. I don't remember them from last year or years past.
Do you know what they are, actually? They sell carrots at their store?
No, spectacle shop. Eyeglasses. They're located in New Brighton off Silver Lake Road and Rice Creek Terrace.
You figured it out.
Yes.
Coming up next, we have Jensen Foods. The truck and boat is sponsored by Jensen Foods. The boat is the original boat from the movie Grumpier Old Men. So we got a piece of movie here at this
movie
parade.
history, which visits a lot of parades. I remember this one from last year, too.
And the participants include the employees of Jensen's and their families. Jensen's Foods produces the wonderful bakery aroma that covers the neighborhood.
The neighborhood that we are in right now.
That's true.
Just about 3 blocks east on Northdale is Jensen's Foods, located in that shopping center.
Not too far away. Well, seeing we know Ventura is not running for office again, we have several other candidates in the running. One of those, Roger Moe, is running for governor under the DFL endorsement.
I'm trying to pick him out. Is he walking the crowd, I wonder? I see lots of his supporters. I don't see him.
Sometimes they'll surprise you. They'll pop out and they were talking to someone.
Yeah, they get
a little behind.
And have to catch up.
Obviously, a lot of volunteers it takes to do these campaigns.
And he's chosen Julie Sabo to be the lieutenant governor. And they have supporters of all ages, too. That's kind of fun.
Was she the one that announced that she was recently pregnant?
Yes.
That was her, but she is still going to run along with Moe for governor.
Yep.
Luann Koskinen is right behind that. She is also running in this year's election. She is campaigning in the new District 47A, which includes parts of Coon Rapids and a good chunk, or if not all, of Champlin. Daryl Stanton is coming up next for United States Congress. Got some of his supporters there. And the Green Party of Minnesota is right behind that. Ken Pantel is their endorsed candidate for the Green Party.
And this year it's a new float. It's the float from Mother Nature's. This is a, looks like a Green Party sponsored float. And its theme is it's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
Kind of appropriate.
They're trying to spread the message on environmental issues, social, economic, renewable energy. Lots of good issues. That's a nice vehicle there, Steve. It's Elvis.
Lives on.
Elvis is still the king in my book.
And he's actually in the car, apparently. Lives on. Sand Creek Service Unit, the Girl Scouts are up next. They're from Adams Elementary, Epiphany, Eisenhower, Hamilton, Sand Creek, and Soderberg. There's lots of the service groups involved in this parade as well.
And this group, you notice, has some dads walking along. I know last year we met a couple of them who were actually leaders for the group. That was kind of fun.
That's right, you were actually down on the parade route last time, running around, working hard.
I was. It was a lot of fun. It was very, very enjoyable. What a great time for these young people to experience something like this. They're not going to forget that for sure. And the best part is they get to end up down at the park and have lots of ice cream and sodas and play bingo.
Lots of the events going on, like we mentioned tonight. The carnival kicks off. I'm sure a lot of these folks will be headed down there right after the parade.
Look at those mobs of people, Steve. There's got to be 1,000 people down there.
It is a sight when you just look down the road and see all the people lined up.
Quite impressive. We've sort of camped out in front of the Presbyterian Church of the Master here on Northdale Boulevard, and we certainly appreciate their letting us use the parking lot, block one of the entrances.
Exactly.
And set up all our equipment.
If anyone was planning to get to church tonight, they're not getting there.
But that's okay, because they're at the parade.
Exactly. They're all out here enjoying the festivities.
More Girl Scout units coming up. This is Troop 2211. The All-Stars is what they call themselves. Great opportunity for young people to meet new friends and learn lots of new stuff.
Got a little trivia for you.
Okay.
Do you know what 3 presidents died on the 4th of July?
No.
There was actually 3. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson in 1826 and James Monroe in 1831.
Interesting.
And President Coolidge was born on July 4th, 1872.
Definitely a big day in our country. You know, and with this parade, the good thing is if you're a group or organization and you want to be in next year's parade, why not? All you have to do is contact a member from the Lions Club. They'll set you up with the information sheet and just got to make plans to be out here.
That's true, and it seems like they do add more and more folks each year, get involved and add units, and we do see some different things. And that's good. And, you know, you get kind of tired of some of the same old stuff all the time, it's kind of nice to have some new things in the parade to kind of mix with the old. So we have a nice
I know
mix.
that they would probably enjoy having more local businesses put together a float of some sort and participate. Just spread the message about the business.
And
Look
heck,
at that,
sometimes it's
adorable.
not any more than a car.
Right, a car, a pickup truck, flatbed trailer, blow-up suit.
Take your pick. And where's that guy from?
Super America.
Super America.
Yeah. Long time business here in Coon Rapids. Oh, these children have their wave down so perfectly.
Well, if you want to watch Talk of the Town, this is an interesting program we meet interesting people from the community, profile two folks or two different groups of people once a month. It's with Stephanie Ring, and you can check that out 4 times a day. That's one good thing about the programming. Replayers a lot, so folks can catch it basically at any hour of the day. That is Talk of the Town with Stephanie Ring, daily at 7:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m., 6:30 p.m., and 10:30 p.m. right here on CTN Channel 15.
And if somebody knows an interesting person or group that they'd like to see profiled on that program, just give us a call at Channel 15. We'd be happy to check it out.
They're always looking for folks that are interesting that they can profile. Well, coming up, Jerry Grant is standing by with a troop of Boy Scouts. Jerry?
Hi, Steve and Karen. I'm here with Keith Howard, the troop master of a large group. And how many Boy Scouts do you have here today, Mr. Howard?
Well, I'd say there's about 125.
And how many packs and troops do you have?
There's one troop and 4 packs.
And how many of these parades do you do?
Just this one.
Is that enough?
Well, no, I'd like more, but there aren't that many parades to go to.
How many young people are involved in this organization these days? What do you see for numbers?
Well, in the 5 units that I'm involved with, I'd say between 250 and 300.
That's pretty nice numbers.
Yes, it is.
Well, enjoy the rest of the parade, and thanks for talking with us.
Right, thank you.
Okay, back to you, Steve and Karen.
All right, thanks. It's a
Now
pretty cool
that's a flag.
It is. It's one of those you'd see like outside Perkins, you know, those huge flags.
It's massive. And Keith Howard, what a wonderful, sweet man, longtime volunteer in the community.
Mr. Community, as some folks have referred to him as.
He is certainly that.
Oh, great, a break in the parade. I got some more statistics for you.
Some more stuff, all right.
Let's see here. Fireworks, this is an interesting fact that more than 161 million pounds of fireworks were set off last year, and that's more than double what was used in 1990. So obviously the fascination with fireworks has apparently grown.
Well, that's obvious in our state.
That's true.
Every store in town's carrying them these days.
Yeah, I was just at Costco today, and it's amazing. I mean, every other person seemed like they were carrying these big, packages, and they don't make just the small things. They come with every variety of fireworks that you can think of that is legal to sell here, or to set off actually in the state. And if you're planning to do that this weekend, also remember that you need to do that on private property. That is part of the ordinance, and they're hoping that a lot of people stay safe and that there aren't a lot of injuries related to fireworks this 4th of July.
And one of the safest way is to come down to the park, enjoy the fireworks here. That way you don't have to worry about it at home.
We have the color guard coming up next.
This group is from the Anoka Civil Air Patrol. It's a cadet program for kids who are at least in 6th grade or older, up to age 18. They teach them how to fly and more. The Anoka Squadron has just won the Squadron of the Year award from the state of Minnesota. That's pretty exciting. And they meet on Tuesday nights from 6 to 9 p.m. and it's free. And anyone can join. More info is available at the Blaine Airport.
Can't get any better than free. Coming up next, we have the float for Sons of Norway, and Jerry Grant is standing by with them. Jerry?
How are you doing up there? I'm here with the Sons of Norway.
Oh, no.
Well, we are an organization that combine Norwegians, Swedes, Danes, Finns, and Icelanders to celebrate their culture and heritage.
Now, I have a real important question for you. Is there such a thing as the Daughters of Norway?
Well, there is, but it's a very small organization. Women are a majority of our organization. So.
Well, there's a question. You answered it very well. Are you enjoying the parade so far today?
It's been a lot of fun, but we ran out of candy.
And you shouldn't tell that to all these young people up here because they're waiting for some. If you wave extra hard, that might help.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve, for your time.
Sure.
Back to you, Steve and Karen.
Not a good thing not to have enough candy.
Where is the braids and the Viking hat?
Yeah, that's true.
Jerry was supposed to wear those.
That's true.
What a great float they have, too. The little log cabin and fun, nice organization. And like he says, it's called Sons of Norway, but they actually have women members also.
I found a reason why you want to actually sit at the front of the parade route, because they would have candy at the beginning of the parade.
Good idea.
Definitely.
Yes, and then you could fill that bag or bucket that you brought along.
Yeah. Kathy Tinglestead for state rep is coming up next, and her committee and volunteers.
She's been part of the Minnesota legislature for the last 6 years, and she is running for re-election. She represents parts of Andover and Coon Rapids, and I'm sure we're going to see her at a few more parades this summer.
I'm sure there'll be to as many as possible. Coming up right behind them, it's Tim Pawlenty for governor. He is the Republican candidate endorsed for governor. It'll definitely be an interesting race for governor this year.
I'm curious, I didn't see Tim Penny's name on the list of parade entrants.
Yeah, I don't know if he last moment or, you know, so I'm imagining with so many parades in the metro, you can't make every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. And yet this weekend there'll be the Blazing Forth Parade. Or did I miss that?
Let me find out for you here. I'm prepared.
You're the man with the information.
I'm prepared. Actually, they do not list the Blaine information on this sheet. Actually, they do for Metro Fireworks. They list them Thursday at 10 p.m. at the National Sports Center. It doesn't talk about their festival, but I imagine it's got to be somewhere around that time.
And here we have a candidate for sheriff for Anoka County. Dave Picha is throwing his hat in the ring. Got kind of a catchy vehicle there.
And Dave Picha is currently the police chief of Lino Lakes. He has 25 years of experience in the police force. And a lot of folks here with signs and everything else.
I'm glad they have the pronunciation on the sign. I would have said something else.
You saw that.
So yes, Picha.
Well, if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out our website at ctnstudios.com. Specifically on our news page, you can catch all the latest headlines from around Coon Rapids. And also, we list community events coming up in the area. So if you ever have any information that you'd like to get to us, you can send that to us, and we will put it up there. Top news stories, features, events. You can even find out all about Karen Savanich. Get a link to her page.
That's right. You could send me an email.
That's right. Pretty cool there. So be sure to check it out if you haven't. It's gone a major overhaul in the past 6 months or so, and it's very nice. So hopefully folks have checked it out.
Look at that adorable child.
Just waving, drinking his bottle. Everything's okay.
Keeping cool.
And there goes somebody's balloon.
Oh, well, there's more where those came from.
Someone's even got a globe balloon over here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Overall, we had, what, 96 floats? Is that
about 96 different units, which would include, you know, all the fire trucks, all those when you count it. So, pretty good number.
And so many more events happening this weekend. We mentioned the Rockin' Hollywoods and Tim Mahoney. We got some big name music going to be down at the park.
Yeah, definitely you can find something to do this weekend. That shouldn't be an issue. Now if it just stays nice, I believe it's supposed to be nice tomorrow night for the fireworks, so hopefully no rain.
You've got your forecast there, don't you?
Oh, I can check.
Impressive, Steve. Very impressive.
And I pulled this all an hour before I came out here, so it was really good. Yeah, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight tomorrow night. So that's good news for anyone going out to check out the fireworks. Hopefully they should go off without a hitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, next year they're planning even a bigger celebration in conjunction with the firefighters' 50th anniversary. They're in the process, actually, of selling merchandise down at the park this weekend. People can get their hands on that. T-shirts, baseball caps, a cookbook that was actually put together by the firefighters and their families. One of the firefighters even did the artwork for it, so that's pretty cool. And a relatively cheap price, good gift idea. And they're using all the money they raise for the celebration coming up next year. They want to make the fireworks bigger, the celebration bigger, and they're also restoring one of their very first fire trucks. So that's all pretty cool. So folks can check that out at the park this weekend. And if you can't make it there, they will also be selling some of that merchandise at the City Center next week. And the cookbook's already for sale there. So no excuse not to get it. And apparently they've already raised maybe about $20,000. And they want to raise about 60. So they have 40,000 more to raise. So.
And any donation amount is certainly welcome.
Right. We got some clowns with some bike troubles along the side of the parade route here.
Oh, Patches the clown's doing a good job of staying on that bike. Attempting to ride that contraption. I don't know. It's called a clown bike, apparently.
Must take a little practice at least.
Some more red, white, and blue coming up.
This is Victory Auto Service and Glass.
They've still got candy to throw out. They're going to be popular.
They provide honest, dependable service. Been in business for 5 years. And they're about to open a second location. It's a family-owned and operated business. Not sure where they're from, but they must be local.
And if you are heading out this weekend, make sure you check the oil and you check the air in the tires.
Good idea, especially if you're hitting the road to head up north or anywhere like that. We're going to head down to Jerry Grant once again. Jerry?
Thanks, Steve. I'm down here with a special float today with the Air Force Reserve Force, and they're here with a special float with a globe. And how many parades is this float going to this year?
Normally we try to do about 15 to 18 parades a year, all over the Twin City area, St. Paul, Minneapolis, all over.
Is this year a little more special with this float, you think, because of some of the events?
Oh, I think we get a whole lot more people standing up, people saluting, people putting their hands over their heart this year more than in the past. So it's very, very, it's humbling for us. It's very good for us.
Thanks for your time. Back to you, Steve and Karen.
Thank you.
I don't think anyone will deny those comments.
No, definitely not. They're from the 934th Airlift Wing. Fazoli's. There's a banner here, and apparently some folks probably from the business right behind them.
And this is what I mean about local businesses getting involved, putting together some sort of fun thing for the parade.
And Cub Foods has their big grocery cart there. Coming up next, we have Senator Leo Foley and his group. Doesn't say if he's running for re-election or not.
He's got the cool vehicle, though. The PT Cruiser.
And they put signs anywhere, even on the wheels.
Wonder how they get him to stick.
Pretty amazing.
Oh, that's nice. Leo's walking the crowd today. And I hope he's got water waiting at the park.
Yeah. Just shaking the hands, getting out, talking to people, of course. That's what some people want, and obviously must sway their vote some way or another if they meet these folks, because if it didn't work, they wouldn't be doing it.
That's right.
Coming up next, we have Chops Incorporated.
They always are such a crowd favorite. They're so high energy and love to perform. And I think this group, I remember last year they said they do 15 or 20 parades a year.
They're quite popular, and I'm sure they're requested by a lot of parades in the area.
And they have different units associated with the Chops. They have some band, some percussion groups. Then they have obviously the flags and the drill team.
Their shirts, if you notice, it says, "I'm hot, you're not." I don't think that's right tonight. I think everybody's hot.
I think so.
Sounds like we got Cool 108 or something.
It's the Chops performance music. You'll probably notice this fire truck looks a little bit different than the ones we saw earlier. That's because it's from Ham Lake. It's a 1999 Peterbilt truck, and they've got a crew of 6. This vehicle can carry 1,000 gallons of water, so something's going on. You definitely want them there. It also carries over 2,000 feet of hose.
That color is just pretty cool. Obviously, you can see it at night. It's reflective.
Mm-hmm. They must have run out of candy, too.
That's why they're sitting way up high. Coming up next, we have the Mercy and Unity Hospital Cardiac Wellness Program van. RV is actually set up at the park, I believe, during this weekend. They can do screen for blood pressure, total cholesterol, glucose, and cardiac risk factors. It's free to the public at Lions events, pancake breakfasts, community festivals, etc. Again, like we said, that's usually down at Sand Creek Park.
And so far, they've screened over 21,000 people out of that unit.
Karen, you play one of these, don't you? That's what Karen does in her spare time. She couldn't be with them tonight. She had to be with us. But it's the Accordion Fun Club. Tell us about this.
Well, Sharon Gowrelek is the organizer of this, and her husband is right there on the corner, looking sharp, smiling, playing his accordion. They've got 18 members. They range in age from about 30 up until about 80. You're never too old to play the accordion. They do play free of charge for senior events, so you can request them to show up at a nursing home or a parade like tonight. And they love to play polkas and sing-alongs because that's what people like. And they say they need some new members, so if you play the accordion, join up.
All right. Coming up right behind them, it's State Representative Bill Haas. Represents Champlin, Northern Brooklyn Park, Osseo. For 8 years, he's a former mayor of Champlin. And he's running for re-election in the new District 47A, which is Champlin and parts of Coon Rapids. So it appears that he will be up against Luann Koskinen.
That sure is a sharp-looking vehicle.
Nice just to take one of those out for a stroll.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe next year, if we plan ahead, we can get one of those car show cars.
It's true.
Another candidate there, Bill Haas, working the crowd. But like you say, it must work, otherwise you wouldn't see him doing it.
You wouldn't. Coming up right behind him, we have our second band. This is the Forest Lake Junior High School Band. They're making their 5th consecutive appearance in this parade. They have 137th, 8th, and 9th graders from the 2 junior highs in Forest Lake. Let's take a listen to them perform.
want to thank this band for making their 5th consecutive appearance. That's great that they come out for this celebration every year. And this serves as their warm-up to get ready for marching band season in the fall. Beautiful evening here in Coon Rapids as the band fades off into the sunset.
Right behind them, Roger Johnson for state rep in the 1972 Cadillac Eldorado convertible with Senator Paul and Sheila Wellstone.
Roger Johnson's running for House District 49B. And his volunteers are in the red shirts. And Melissa Hortman is also running for state rep. Got quite a few supporters here today. And some of them are teachers, it looks like.
This colorful float coming up here. The King of Glory Lutheran Church, it looks like.
That's nice. They did the rainbow balloon display.
Noah's Ark on the front.
And their motto is, "Come grow with us."
Makes sense. Coming up next, we have Jim Ramstad and his volunteers. He's a congressman from the 3rd District and is running in Coon Rapids now. Under the new district lines, Coon Rapids was added to the 3rd District, so quite a change. Bill Luther was representing Coon Rapids, and there was a shift, of course, with a whole new census data was used. They redrew the lines, so there's quite a few different levels from the national, state, and local that are running in different areas than where they're used to, actually.
It's going to be very interesting this fall. Stickers are always popular. Ramstad's got quite a few volunteers and a Jeep. He's doing all right this year.
Nice Jeep with balloons. Everyone's decked out. Everybody's enjoying things here.
And we hope you're enjoying it so far. I know we're having a good time.
We are. And let's talk a little bit about the 4th of July celebration. As we said, today is the very first day. The parade kicks things off here. They will have bingo and pull tabs down in the park tonight, along with the rides and the food and everything else that you expect at a festival. Tomorrow night, July 4th, at 10 o'clock, there will be a fireworks display in Sand Creek Park. Of course, you want to arrive early if you're going to attend that, because that park is packed. And
plan to stay late. It takes a while to get out.
That's the one good thing. If you can walk home, it's good. Otherwise, you can watch it right here on CTN. As we said earlier, we'll be broadcasting those fireworks, so you can sit in the comfort of your air-conditioned living room and take those in.
We're here for you, folks.
Yeah, that's true. And Tim Mahoney, Friday night, he will be providing an outdoor concert at 7 p.m. And the Rockin' Hollywoods, 7 p.m. on Saturday at the park. So it should be fun. Of course, that custom car show as well at 6 p.m. on Saturday. And Saturday is also Kids and Family Day at the park from 1 to 4. Different activities, demos from the police canine, the fire department rope rescue team. The State Patrol helicopter will land on site. What more could you ask for?
Wow. Busy place.
Looks like we got an empty street again.
Well, it won't be for long. We've got the more people from Chops, it looks like, coming up.
We move quick to get off us, and then the parade stalls.
They must be talking with Jerry Grand. You know, CTN covers, like you say, the parade. We're doing the fireworks tomorrow night. We've got sports. We've got news. And you'll want to check out CTN News with Steve Erickson and myself, Karen Savanich. We go live premiere Friday night at 7 o'clock, and then you can catch the replays during the week. And you can also catch the information off of our award-winning website.
That's right. CTNstudios.com. Join Karen Savanich. We're actually off this week because of the short week, but be back on the 12th of July. Friday the 12th will be our next show.
From our new studio.
And with just Karen.
So don't miss
Karen's
it.
got double the work this week. Steve's not going to be there, so you got to tune in for that.
Don't miss it.
Looks like we got the top chops.
This would be the percussionist part of their group. Flamboyant and very talented. Very talented group of people.
And you've set a crowd favorite here, and I'm sure at just about anywhere they perform. They've actually performed down at the park before. I don't know if they have plans to do that this year.
Oh, that'll be fun. I know they always like to be on TV, too.
That's right. Why do you think they stopped right over the camera?
I know. And they're going to perform again for us as they walk on off into the sunset.
Coming up next, we have the North Hudson Pepper Festival, and of course the royalty from the festival. The King Skip and Queen Samantha invite you to come to the 2002 North Pepper Festival as they sit in a garden on Pepper Throne, surrounded by Princess Shannon, Jenna, and Katie. They've won numerous awards.
This is a nonprofit group who brings any earnings that they make back into their community, which is kind of a nice thing. For the past 8 years, they've given back to the community somewhere between $16,000 and $20,000 to different groups that help put the festival together.
And their festival actually takes place August 16th, 17th, and 18th over in North Hudson, so check it out if you can. We're going to head over to Jerry Grant, who's standing by with some dogs.
Thanks, Steve and Karen. I'm down here with Roger Barr. And Roger, you are with the Adoption Association for Greyhounds. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the process of adopting a greyhound?
What's called Northern Lights Greyhound Adoption. We place greyhounds in adoptive homes. That's our goal, our only goal, and we educate the public. People that are interested in adopting a greyhound, contact us. We send them an application. We check out their references. If they check out, we have them come in, show them the dogs we've got, have them bring in any existing dogs they've got and their kids, and if everything melds properly, they got a dog.
About how many dogs a year are adopted through your association?
Between 80 and 100.
It's a lot of dogs. So you're doing a great service for the community. They make a wonderful pet, don't they?
Absolutely wonderful pets. They're couch potatoes. They play hard, they sleep hard.
A lot of people relate to that, especially after being out here in the hot sun all day, Karen and Steve. What do you think?
We won't mention any names. Thanks, Jerry. We've done numerous stories with them, actually. I know they've done something for Talk of the Town on the Greyhound adoption. We've done a story on the news, and they're just amazing animals.
And what's interesting here, it says they can trace the pedigree back some 4,000 years for this breed, which is amazing.
Checking out the camera there.
What a great service, as Jerry said, that they are providing.
And for the ones that don't want to walk, They got the comfort of a flatbed trailer. A covered flatbed trailer.
Little bit of shade. Take it where you can get it.
And that's important, and they also have plenty of water on that, I'm sure.
Otherwise, we'd have hot dogs.
Good one, Karen. Good one.
Yeah, I know.
Good one.
Okay, moving on. Girl Scouts, Steve.
Girl Scouts. This is the Mississippi Service Unit Girl Scouts. Have about 400.
This is definitely a new song. I don't recognize this one. These groups are from Hoover, Mississippi, Morris Pie, L.O. Jacob, and Coon Rapids Middle and High Schools.
And they mentioned the 3 famous words, Girl Scout cookies. Well known for that. Debbie Johnson and some of her folks coming up there. She is running as senator. She says she's looking forward to representing Coon Rapids.
And she wants to thank all her hardworking volunteers. And coming up next, it's the Hopkins Raspberry Festival float. This is a beautiful float.
And they have their celebration July 11th through the 21st.
On their float today, John Hamer, Lorraine Beaversdorf, Prince William Huntner, and Aaron Ackeridge, and Joey Pruzak, Waverly Johnson, Natalie Tuning, Brittany Bader, and Queen Selena Derringer.
It would be pretty cool to ride up there on that swing.
That
what do you
would
think?
be. I like it.
Coming up next, we have some folks for state rep. Again, this is Stephanie Olson, who's been a resident within the new legislative district 47B boundaries for over 29 years. Says she's grown up in Coon Rapids and since married and made her home in Brooklyn Park, actually. She's graduated Coon Rapids High School, attended several schools in this area, and is active in several different organizations in the community.
The red and white sure shows up good. A lot of volunteers for Stephanie. I know who this is. You know, Stephanie Jones, who used to do all the pageant stuff and former director of the royalty. Okay, so yeah, she got married, changed her name, and
it's clicked with
there
you.
we go. Now we know who she is and why she has such a big following in Coon Rapids.
Coming up right behind that, it is the Anoka-Hennepin Parent Levy Yes Committee. Obviously a big issue for the district as they look to try to pass a levy referendum this time around, which failed last November. I know they're planning to do one for November. They have yet to determine the amount, and hopefully some of that information will be coming out in the coming weeks. And I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot of this group around town in the coming months pushing this vote and getting people educated on what it means to School District 11.
The election day, November 5th.
Tom
And you
Thumb.
recognize that face, don't you?
Yes. What more do we need to say?
Located on Hanson Boulevard, this is the big man himself, Mr. Tom Thumb. Any post-parade needs you might have, you can stop over there and I'm sure they can fill them for you.
Coming up next, Woodbury Royalty. It's their 21st year of royalty, a celebration in Woodbury. It runs the 3rd weekend in August. Miss Woodbury is Janae Kubica. Woodbury Princess is Nicole Nikki and Christine Weber. Little Miss Woodbury, Elizabeth Shank. Woodbury Princesses, Caitlin Verhurst and Madison Petron. That's the one thing we've talked about before. You can really find a celebration almost any weekend in the summer. That's the one nice thing when they kind of spread them out.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not the CarX man, it's the CarX bird.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Sign on the side of K102. Comes the country music radio station.
Minnesota's favorite music is country. And nobody plays more country than Kentucky's best country.
This is a new group this year. Looks like they're sponsored from the Sierra Club.
Vote for dirty water.
Little two-step in here to the K102 van.
Hey. And you said this is a group that enjoys outdoor activities, and we're here to preserve and protect our environment, and apparently have some messages for some of the candidates.
That's right. They dressed up as a different type of pollution.
Northeast State Bank folks are right there, throwing out some candy to the crowd. There are some of the crowd actually getting the candy.
They are so good about giveaways. They're always at the Anoka County Fair too, and they have the best selection of free stuff. And who's in the purple today? Margaret Place. Margaret Place is located near the Mary T complex in Coon Rapids and definitely serve a lot of people in our community. And you recognize those green signs for Senator Paul Wellstone.
That's right, his group is coming up right behind the Margaret Place folks. Basically walking the crowd and reminding people to vote on November 5th. It's Paul Wellstone running for a third term in the Senate, I believe.
Oh, that's his bus. I get it.
That famous green bus.
Yeah.
It's been all around the state.
Cool.
And out to DC, I believe.
Bet that's warm in there.
Kind of a hard bus to drive across country there. A lot of leg power. Coming up behind them, Mix 104. 80 station.
Oh, and now the cleanup crew.
I was gonna say, they'll be heading to the park and they'll have some work to do, I'm sure, from Ace Solid Waste.
They've been serving our community for over 30 years. They're locally owned and operated, and today their driver is Bob Miller.
And a loud.
I think I caught a ride on that last year.
Coon Rapids Collision is right behind them. And we got some more folks coming up right behind that. This is The Bull from Shorty's Towing. We hope you don't have to see the bull too often.
That's right.
Although I'm sure they won't mind. They've been in business for over 50 years now, towing for Coon Rapids Police and Fire. Shorty specializes in heavy-duty recovery. We have several different options to choose from. You hope for one, either the bull or the second thing rather than the flatbed. Got the flatbed, there's some serious trouble.
They've been working with the police and fire department for a number of years, and as you said, Steve, couldn't clear those accidents without them.
Coming up next, it's Zebra Pizza and Tacos. Think they got anything cooking in there tonight? Getting hungry up here.
Your one-stop pizza shop. They offer take and bake or hot delivered pizza, both of which is delicious. And they've also added much more. I see here tacos, burritos, nachos.
Cheese bread.
Yum.
Sounds good too.
And a Pepsi. Cool car too.
Of course, it's a PT Cruiser.
It is, and actually they used to have like a little Geo thing, so obviously they're doing good. They've upgraded to the PT Cruiser.
This is a step up from the Geo.
They're located right next door to Lifetime Fitness off Northdale Boulevard.
Okay.
So very close to the park.
Certainly not the limo or the Cadillac we talked about earlier, but
well, not everybody.
Those are pretty
can
cool. I mean,
have
you
the
see those
Cadillac.
around, so those are pretty cool vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be your next vehicle.
Do you think so?
PT Cruiser, yeah.
Well, that might work.
Well, if you're just joining us, you've tuned in way late. We're towards the end of this parade, so you'll have to catch it another time when this replays. But
the sun is actually setting now. We can actually look at the camera.
yeah, I can actually see the lens. It's pretty cool, and see everybody out there.
We see you, by the way.
Getting a little crazy. It's been a little over an hour here. We're on Northdale Boulevard at the Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade, which, of course, is a part of the bigger celebration that is put on by the Coon Rapids Lions Club and the firefighters each year. This is their 49th year for this celebration, and, you know, we can't give them enough credit. They do put in a lot of hard work, a lot of hours organizing this parade, organizing all the events that go down at Sand Creek Park. So we got to say thank you to them out there.
That's right. The Lions Club, the Lioness Club, and the firefighters really do a lot of work.
Certainly.
And not to mention all the volunteers who participate in the parade tonight. We appreciate them being here as well.
That's true. So we got some more people behind us. I see people. I don't see any units. A little lull in the parade.
Almost 100 units in this parade. And you know what? There's even more than that as far as cute babies in the crowd, and here's one of them.
They are. He's just, oh, he doesn't want that bottle.
Oh.
He's like, wants something else, maybe.
But he got his stickers. You see that?
And
see?
she does, too.
Stickers are so popular. And we're trying out our new piece of equipment, getting those aerial shots for you. That's our crane camera.
That's pretty cool. And it hasn't crashed into anyone yet. Take someone out, you know. It wouldn't be a good thing.
That's good.
We got the Tops Chops people back, it looks like.
Good. This is such an entertaining group.
This must be their
This is the brass part of it. We saw the percussion, now we're up to the brass.
At least somebody knows what we're doing. This looks like a sea of people there. A lot of people campaigning.
Well, I'm sure they'll perform as soon as they get closer to us. As you can see behind them, it's the Norm Coleman group. He's expecting to have one vehicle and about 20 volunteers helping him out. And here it looks like they're going to perform for us. This ought to be good. And there they go, right off into the sunset. Definitely a crowd favorite. As I mentioned before, U.S. Senate candidate Norm Coleman has come out for tonight's parade along with about 20 of his volunteers.
How you doing? Good. Some ATV bikes there. They're pretty cool to drive down the parade route, I bet.
Yeah. We'll see if they have a permit for that later on.
Yeah. Maybe there's some exceptions made on nights like tonight.
Maybe. Well, he's keeping up the pace, that's for sure. I see a sign there for Pat Anderson-Awada. She's running for state auditor. And behind that, we have the folks from the Egan campaign.
Ray Egan is running for the Minnesota Senate in District 47. Represents Champlin, Brooklyn Park, and Coon Rapids. He's the current executive director of the Minnesota Motorcycle Riders Association. This is his first campaign.
And there's a look at the Coon Rapids girls hockey program. Got skaters of all different ages. Girls rule.
Yeah, there you go.
We are getting so close to the end of the parade, but before we go, we want to remind you registration looks like it's coming up in September for the girls hockey program. Check with your friends and neighbors if you want more information. Coon Rapids girls hockey, very popular. They want you because girls play hockey too.
Well, there we have it. The end of the Coon Rapids 4th of July parade, and it was very exciting. We had almost 100 units, a lot of variety.
Do we have a special guest?
We have a special guest. Let's see if Brandon will come in here.
Hi, Pumpkin. Hi.
How are you? So what was your favorite part of the parade?
I think I see it right here.
Were you clapping?
Stickers.
Yeah. He's working on a campaign here.
We're having a baby boom here at CTN. This is little guy is 1 year old. His dad is Eric. His mom is Carrie Strauss. And Steve's wife is pregnant.
So we're just airing everything.
Their little guy is here tonight.
So everyone having a good time. He wouldn't come up here.
He wouldn't, huh?
We have Jerry Grant still in the crowd. I don't know if he's available to talk to us or not. But if we can, let's go down to Jerry Grant and get some final thoughts on the parade. Jerry?
Thanks, Stephen Karen. As you just commented on, close to 100 floats and vehicles in this year's parade, and quite a few political candidates and organizations. And as you see behind me, the last of the parade is coming up with the police vehicles and other rescue vehicles with their flashing lights and loud noise-making sirens and screaming, as I was talking about right there. Tells you that it's all done. Unfortunately, we missed the real end of the parade, and that was a horse had a little accident and somebody had to go out with a bucket. That usually does signify that's the end of the parade as well. But I think it's about done. It was nice and hot down here. A great crowd is filing out, and I will send it back to you guys. Thanks for having me here today, Karen and Steve.
Thank you. And that's one of those things that's not in your job description, right?
Thank goodness. I didn't read the fine print, but no.
It's quite a good thing. So your favorite part of the parade is what?
Well, I think it was really, I always enjoy seeing those clowns move around, and the kids like the candy throwing too. I got hit with about 10 pieces of candy, so I thought that was nice as well, but I never did get a piece. I was too slow. The kids are real fast when it comes to that candy.
We didn't get a lot up here either, and we could have had 2 T-shirts, but Karen missed the second time. The other one flew way over the truck. So
better luck next year, as they say.
Not very good. Well, thank you again for your commentary here tonight in Sideline Reporting. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
you
Jerry.
as well.
Appreciate it.
And your favorite part of the parade?
Sirens.
Sirens?
Yeah.
Because they're loud and noisy?
Yeah, fire trucks, you know, apparatus.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So hopefully everybody out there enjoyed the Coon Rapids 4th of July parade. Again, big celebration coming up this weekend.
I know he did.
At Sand Creek Park, and you enjoyed things? Can you say bye-bye?
Final thoughts.
We got to say bye-bye to the people now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all very much for watching the Coon Rapids 4th of July parade here on CTN. Have a very safe 4th of July holiday weekend, and we'll see you back here again for the parade in one more year for the big 50th anniversary celebration. Thanks for watching.